Hey everyone, H&S SprayGunner here and visiting Createx Colors using their booth to shoot this video about Harder and Steenbeck airbrushes. Airbrush from Germany, as you may know, great quality products, and they have almost a full lineup here. So like about there's a lot of models, and you can definitely find the right airbrush for whatever you do there, whatever you need airbrush for in Harder and Steenbeck lineup. Let's talk about the general things which differentiate Harder from anybody else. First of all airbrushes, all of them, like every single model, will have the self-centering nozzle piece, which looks like this. And it's, the benefit of it, it's really simple to disassemble, assemble an airbrush. You don't have to have a small, little wrench or any size wrench, pretty much to get nozzle out, clean an airbrush and put it back together. They have seals on the end, which has a benefit, the PTFE seals. Ready for any materials. We're talking about water-based paint here, of course, with Createx, but if you use solvents, if you use something aggressive, they're totally ready for it. So any airbrush from this range pretty much can handle enamels, solvent paints, anything you can throw at them. And this seal is important because you can replace it. So if you have self-centered nozzle but it's just full metal, if you scratch it, you're pretty much done. The nozzle is not good because the little air is going to come out through this scratch and done. But here it's the magic. First, you don't have to buy a new one, you can flip it around. So I saw, sometimes you get a little scratch on the seal. You have air coming in, your air cup, just flip the little seal and you're good to go. Most of the airbrush from Harder and Steenbeck are going to have this unique level design or trigger, you call it. I have like a big back piece, let me pull it out so you can see. A little back piece which gives real special feeling. It's like, have a German car, you have a special feeling about it. This little round bottom, which really frees your movement there. It's not getting stuck easily, and that's how it operates. So this thing actually pulls against the needle chuck going and controlling your needle distance. All the great airbrushes except for Ultra as well, it's a really beginning airbrush. All of them, others, Evolution, Infinity, all others, Hansa, they're going to have screw type paint cup, which means you can unscrew it and guess what, replace. So they have from the micro cup, which pretty much it's nothing, like a little bit higher piece of metal you can screw in here for like a lot of details if you do something really tiny. Standard 2 and 5, that's what comes with 2-in-1 sets. And they have 50mm and have also the big plastic 50mm cap for pretty much any airbrush you can put it. You can throw up on the Infinity, which made for precision and detail. You can put a 50mm cap on it and 0.6 nozzle and just go around with it. So all airbrushes are really designed to have the parts really exchangeable between most of the models. So you have the very basic Ultra and you have top of the line Infinity. You bend the needle on one of them if they have the same size, like 0.2, 0.15. You can just take one from nozzle and replace it. I don't know any other manufacturer who offers this kind of variety with a little bit of parts for interchangeable parts between airbrushes. Really simple, really easy to have big collections of airbrushes, and really small driver of placement parts for them. That's just brilliant. And another part which is really specific to Harder and Steenbeck, and I'm going to show additional how it works. So this is called quick piece. Comes standard on Infinity. It comes standard, little different look, but still the same thing on Grafo airbrushes, and it can be purchased additionally and installed on Evolution series if you wish. What benefit about it, you can set it to have your needle distance, like the trigger pull limit. So if you're doing some super detail, you can set it on a really limited level, so you don't pull the trigger too much and you don't splash or to put too much paint on your artwork. And a lot of airbrushes have it. So normally it's standard like this, like on the silver line, you just screw it up, screw it down, and you limit it. So to get back to the full motion, you have to unscrew it normally, but not on the quick fixed piece. So now you just pull it back and it releases it, and you're ready to go full spray again. And just click it back to limited position, pull it, and you're back to full range again. It's really special for Harder and Steenbeck piece. I didn't see anybody else doing that. Something new came up. Well, it's almost 2 years. Time was running too fast. So at some point they had an issue with 2 soft nozzles and needles, and this was addressed and upgraded. That's why they had a V2 on some of the airbrushes, some listings on our website, you still see the V2. They all, like every single airbrush we have in stock now, SprayGunner.com, they are all version 2, so they have upgraded needles, nozzles. This is not like something you have to dig and search for. Every single airbrush we sell now have the V2 needle and nozzle upgrade, but that was done a couple of years ago. And another good improvement they made in packaging, actually I have one airbrush which didn't make it here safely. So this is all the packaging of this airbrush. It's just different inserts, and as you can see, the needle is completely bent. I mean, it's like 90-degree hook there. That's from shipping from our Florida warehouse here to Connecticut, Cradex. And I just got loose in the package and just damaged itself pretty much within the package. That was addressed, and the new packaging looked like this. It's really sturdy there, it's airbrush not getting loose, and I have a piece covered like that here on the side. And I was covered like that to piece it in there. Keep it in spot, and yeah, it works perfectly. So there's no reported issues with packaging and shipping, damage in shipping now, which is really big thanks to guys in Germany for addressing it, because we had quite a bit of returns and exchange because of that back in time. I don't know, they think completely changed last year, so it was like slowly rolling out the change, but now it's also there. Another thing they really addressing now, and it should be gone soon. So we have fine line haircut like Evolution CR gonna have, or an Infinity. This is called a pinch haircut, which can help the protection on. The standard piece comes with that. It's not something you should spray with. So this is just really temporarily for transportation, pretty much protective cap, not to get the bent needle on my nozzle as I showed you there. Actually, it's interesting because it wasn't installed for some reason on the airbrush I just showed you. But anyways, don't spray this piece on. If you're spraying it on and you're happy with the results, it's not the problem of airbrush, it's probably you didn't remove the thing that should be gone. So they're trying to get rid of it, and that's what we heard. It's some point in the future this will be fixed and replaced, because honestly, with the new packaging, it's not really necessary to have it. The airbrush not bumping themselves into the case wall anymore, and still it's coming there. So if you have this piece, please remove before you use. You have the standard crown type needle protective cap, which you can put on, and that's how you're supposed to spray. Now, another popular for new users, we're receiving airbrush. All the Harder Steenbeck airbrushes come with the quick coupling nipple here. This is a little part which is designed for, I think most of the brands nowadays, they all standard, so they can be connected to Badger, Rex, or other brand quick coupling. If you have them, if you don't use it, you just need the 1/8 air hose. You're trying to connect it. It's unscrewable. It's just removed right there, and here we go, magic. You're ready to just screw it on the 1/8 air hose and good to go. You'll be laughing, but we have so many cases when people returning airbrush because they're not comparable with their air hose, which standard on 1/8, because they just didn't unscrew this thing. It's removable, and you know it now, so don't forget. Another unique feature to Harder and Steenbeck airbrushes, because they all can be, the nozzle sets can be replaced from, so if you have the standard Ultra, which comes with 0.2, we can make it 0.15, we can make it 0.4, 0.6. So we have a variety of sizes for each airbrush to change the purpose completely. If you have the primary airbrush or something heavier in your background work, you can use the same exact airbrush, just quickly swap the self-centered nozzle, as I mentioned, which is easy to just unscrew and remove without damage, and make it super detailed airbrush with 0.15 or 0.2. And yeah, again, it's really convenient, really nice for have one airbrush and be able to go from 0.15 to 0.6, or some special pieces like Colani, you can go up to 1.2 millimeter, which is a big hole for a small airbrush, but we'll talk about it later. And so all those benefits combined, they pretty much created the brand, which at least here in the States, they never put much money into marketing at all. I mean, marketing from Harder Steenbeck before to 2022 was so little, and it became really popular airbrushes because people sharing their experience, people sharing how well it works, how easy to change things, how it's just a lot of positive energy coming from users, and thank you out there for using them already to just create this popularity for the brush, and it's really great. But now let's just touch base on all the different series which we have I have some presentation of each of them. Not every single airbrush is here on the table, just because I have big enough table here pretty much. But starting from the far corner here on my left and the right, that's an Ultra airbrush. It's really beginning, affordable way to get into airbrushing. So we have today's price. It's starting with $90 for real German airbrush. It's fully manufactured in Germany, so you don't assembly or something like this. For this price, you get truly German quality, and it's great way to start airbrushing. So you don't have to deal with any quality of the product related kind of thing. If it's not in the world, it's most of it maybe paint. But again, if you're using something with like Radiates, it's not an issue. So if you're getting good results, well, get some skill. That's how to approach it. But Ultra can be gravity fed or siphon fed. So this is two models here. So the siphon, because if you're using t-shirts, it's going to come standard with 0.2. Something heavier, primers if you're doing modeling or anything like that, or just generally use airbrush pretty much for larger amount of paints put out. Or you have the gravity fed, which comes with 2 milliliter standard, just pretty much push-in paint cup, and 0.2 milliliter nozzle. It can go in 2-in-1 set, which is like really great money saver. 2-in-1, they have 2 different air caps, nozzle sets and 2 paint caps, which pretty much universal airbrush for anything beginner, doing detail, doing general kind of airbrushing, doing base coat and clear coat, and really nice way to start. Moving from Ultra, which again it's a great airbrush, just don't have any options which other higher brothers and sisters of it have. See the cup just plug in, when the rest of them are going to be the screw-in, which gives you many more options of the size to put in. So we go to Evolution, which is the next step. They have actually 3 or 4 subdivisions in Evolution itself. The biggest model range in the whole Harder Steenbeck. So very basic, what's called the classic Evolution. That's how they look. They have the gravity fed and the siphon fed. Really nice. There's a lot of rubber rims here. Don't put those on solvent for too long, but they look great. And feel great, have this little piece of rubber here which really can hold in your hands. It also can be 2-in-1 solid airbrush, so solid 0.2, 2-in-1, 0.2, 0.4, and you have this siphon fed, which in solid comes with this 0.4mm nozzle, and it also comes in 2-in-1 set, and it's the only way, from what I know, to get a 0.6 on your airbrush with Harder Steenbeck standard is to get 2-in-1 set, because it comes with 0.4, 0.6. And 0.6 with this air cap is pretty heavy spray. You can put out some paint with it, use it for multiple purposes. Something when you need to, even some fine metallics, it will be good with this airbrush. Alright, so moving from the classic Evolution, you have the Evolution CR, which stands for Chrome. As you can see, it's a little brighter color because this is nickel plated and this is chrome. That's not the only one difference. The biggest difference is air cup. So as you can see here, just round standard Evolution air cup, while the CR already comes with the pinch-on kind of chrome cap. That's the same as Infinity uses. And believe me, it's a hell of a difference. So if you just take this same airbrush, even if you're taking the classic Evolution and change the air cap on it, which you can do because it's Harder Steenbeck products, they're interchangeable. As I mentioned, it changes the way the airbrush sprays tremendously. So the standard, like I call it Evolution, air cap is a little heavier kind of spray. If you want to put more paint out, less control on the trigger, that's the way to go. With the what they call fine line, and there's a reason called fine line. It's like taking the same cover and fine tuning it for the purpose of being more precise, being more controllable. That's how just a single part changes it, the air cap. It's really nice upgrade if you're doing detail or if you just want to have a little softer kind of spray with more atomization of your paint. That's the way to go. So Evolution CR comes in Sola, and that's one of the airbrushes you can really select the nozzle size you want to do. So it can be 0.15, 0.2, and 0.4 millimeter as the standard airbrush Sola, or you also have the 2-in-1 version, of course. And there's only one cooler version of the Evolution than the CR is aluminum AL+. It's a black airbrush, really light. I mean, if I'm going to take those two in my hands, difference is like really thought. So this is made from aluminum, anodized aluminum, black color, comes in the solid 2-in-1 as well. Pretty much everything is the same, pretty much it's like really, except for the color here, gold and silver, it's the same, all the parts are the same airbrush, same body, just the AL made from aluminum and aluminium, as we say it correctly. That's also there, as I mentioned, solar 2-in-1 option, and all the links to order whatever model I talk about, with the codes, SKUs, is going to be in the description, so check them out there. The last step in Evolution series, I think it's actually the most popular airbrush from Gold Evolutions. It's a silver line. Those can be gravity fed or side fed, this one. So this is the silver line M. As you can see, nice set. You have one of the side cups and you have two on the one bottle and replacement bottle kind of thing. So putting out more material, this is 0.4 standard, and normally this comes as a 0.2, or if it's 2-in-1, 0.2.4, but here we have another cool model, which is the same silver line, Evolution silver line FPC, which have the air control here, so you can adjust pressure right on your air valve. So really cool feature when you need to do jump from higher to lower sometimes for some effects. Like if you do this, the spluttering, you just kill the pressure down right here to the that's actually the feature you can buy optionally for pretty much any airbrush. If it's replaceable air valve, like you can put in Infinity, you can put in Evolution, it's there for you. But on this airbrush it comes standard. And also different for silver line from regular Evolutions and also Ultra. That's the first airbrush from those series we actually have, which has actually any kind of adjustment here on the needle. So you can do the needle limiting thing. If you need to do some detailing, you'll limit how much paint you put out. That's adjustment here. So just turn it and just feel where you need to be. Of course, helps if you have air connected and some paint in airbrush, not just imagining as I do now. But yeah, that's what it needs for, and that's how it works. And that's again the silver line. Pay attention. The silver line actually has the same air cap as a standard Infinity. Evolution, sorry, classic Evolution. So it's going to have a little heavier spray even on 0.27. And we finally climbed to the most, I think still one of the most popular, if not the most popular airbrush from all the Harder and Steenbeck line, despite it being the most expensive. It's Infinity airbrush, started as a classic look like this, so it's nickel finish, and they also have the CR Plus version. Honestly, in my opinion, take it even personally, I don't know why this is still there in the market, because the CR is everything the same. Chrome finish means it's harder to get some chemical damage to it, remove it. It comes standard with the lid on the paint cup, and the classic does not, so you need to put additional lid here, purchase additional lid for it. And for 2-in-1 version, the same thing, so I have two cups with two lids on the CR Plus, and you have no lids on the classic version. With a price difference of like $12 for 2-in-1, I don't really see why would you buy the classic one, but Harder Steenbeck still offers it. Back in time, if we jump, and I'm talking back in time, probably 8-10 years from now, there was a big difference, because the classic one didn't come with the PTFE seals, which Teflon pretty much seals can't stand any aggressive solvent or anything pretty much you put in it. It used to have the rubber cells on the classic version, and that's why they came up with the CR. They put all the PTFE technology in it. Now there's no difference. It comes with with the PTFE seal as well, and it's ready to take on your solvents, on your enamels, whatever you want to put in it. Also, another difference between the CR Plus and the classic Infinity are their piping seals, the needle piping seals. So for the CR version, you have what they call it extended life, a long life. You pretty much double, or even I would say triple seal in a little longer nut, so you have more life out of it, because you have the same exact seal, just a single. This is the one I dropped there, probably heard it. Yeah, so this is a little piece of Teflon, is from the smaller nut right here, comes from the regular classic Infinity. So again, I don't know why would you save $12 and not go with the CR Plus version, your decision. Also in Infinity, so forget to mention, yeah, you have 0.15 and 0.2 and 0.4 as a solo, or you can go with 2-in-1, which I strongly recommend, 0.15, 0.4 or 0.2, 0.4. And you know the difference here, back in the day there was only 0.15, 0.4 available. Kind of started selling the 0.2, 0.4, plus you know, we're just pretty much replacing the nozzle, because with the original, if you remember, you know, talking about the grade, with the original needle nozzle, it was super easy to bend or crack the nozzle on the 0.15 because it's such a precise, I mean it's 0.15. It's like super small opening out there, and of course it's tiny walls on the nozzle, and it's really tiny tip of the needle. So if you use your fingers, you can really bend it and bend the tip and get in trouble. But from the perspective of like a hairline of the like really tiny line, there's not much difference between 0.15 and 0.2. You can achieve like 95% of the same results with 0.2. So my suggestion was always, you know, if you don't need like to be painting on the nail somewhere or doing something microscopic, yeah, 90% of users probably don't even have skill enough to get to this 0.15 full range of what I can do. So the 0.2 is the way to go, as I think. Especially if you're getting your first airbrush. Yeah, really, 0.2 can do precision, you can do hairline, you can get really nice detailed work with it, and less stress about, you know, first paint, quality of paint. 0.15 will have more of you know, appetite for really good paint. It's even like a small metallic pearl pigment, and just, you know, plug it and you're done. You have to do the same airbrush, clean it, and spend time on it. 0.2 is like 30% larger nozzle than 0.15, of course, if you're to the side, and it's just great. It's larger than opening, it's still doing precision detail, and it's you know, easier maintenance. So my personal suggestion, yeah, go with 0.2. Last up in Infinity series, we have special edition siphon fed 0.15, and this is something really rare. So it has such a small nozzle with a siphon fed airbrush. Normally, I mean the siphon fed. Normally, siphon fed airbrush is made for like, you know, the big bottle in the bottom, so you can put out a lot of paint. If you saw some of the t-shirt artists how they do it, have like high speed, a lot of output kind of thing. This made for detail, and that was one of the artists, still is, didn't do research. He uses this kind of approach. I have little side, not the side, but siphon cup, not the bottle, but the cup in which it's paint, and does precision work this way, which helps this quick of color change. So you know, basically the difference between the siphon pad and the gravity is how easy you can replace colors. You can have a bunch of those different bottles, radius or cups, ready with paint, and one of them is reducer or cleaner. So you're using white, you know, put a reducer in, quick flash, put a black in, and here's your color switch. If you do the same as the gravity pad, well, you need to put a little more time. Put reducer in, put some cleaning inside, and it's just simpler to switch color with the siphon. That's exactly what's the purpose, I understand, of the CTL airbrush. So if you're quickly changing colors, that's the way to go. You can have multiple of the paint caps for it, and just quickly swap from one to another, switch your paint. And also, of course, it's 0.15, as I mentioned. Standard, you can upgrade it to 0.2, 0.4, or even 0.6 if you needed to. The next airbrush series is kind of extension from the Infinity, because they use, well, the same parts, everything the same. It's like Evolution and Evolution Aluminum, as I showed you. We have Infinity and we have the Chameleons. Chameleons pretty much Infinity in aluminum body. So we have the most popular blue and red design here. It's really light airbrush, so it's everything which benefits the Infinity. Using the same airbrush, just lighter weight. So it's aluminum, it can be custom colors. It's temporarily stopped now, but I heard they might be resuming it. Now you can buy it in just red and yellow or blue and red color. Chameleon, and I forgot to mention that on Infinity, compared to like Evolution, you also have the trigger tension adjustment here. So you have, if you want to make your trigger softer, it's easier to pull back. You can just unscrew this steel part here, and it makes it much easier to pull back. More control or less control. from which point of view you look, it depends. But as I mentioned before, I have the quick fixed panel here on all the Infinities. It comes standard. A really cool feature. You also have the quick needle access here, so if you need to clean your airbrush, you can unscrew from here and you can pull it back. So the Infinity is one of the best sellers, as I mentioned, and it has like, pretty much everything you might think of you need from the airbrush. From the detail airbrush, you can turn it into hairspray primer gun if you want to. I saw it, Infinity is 0.6 and 50mm cut. Yeah, go for it. It's Harder and Steenbeck. You can play and change and make it work for your purpose. Now we get into the other side of the table, where I'd say so if we went kind of up in pricing and popularity. We'll cool down a little here. Those are not as popular models and series, but they're still great for what they are. On this section of the table, my personal favorite will be Grafo airbrushes. So those, you see same parts. Again, if you unscrew the air cap, it'll be the same exact nozzle as on Infinity or Ultra. So everything is replaceable here. These are automatic airbrushes, they call them, or how they say, double dependent action. So you still have, the air goes first and then paint flow follows. But instead of pressing the trigger down, as on any Harder and Steenbeck airbrush calculating down and back, you don't have the down motion here at all. So don't press it and make a calling shape for pulling back. So start pulling it back slowly, the air comes first, and the more you pull, the more you paint again. Again, automatic as they call it, or double dependent action. Really nice for somebody who never used airbrush before and just starting and want to have a great airbrush without too much learning curve. Some people especially can take some time to remember, down, back, then front, still holding your finger down and lift up. It's one of the reasons you get a lot of splatters on your early work, just because you forget, you need to always start and end with air. This just eliminates the problem at all. There's no way you will release the trigger and the air will not end up, because air is in the very beginning of the motion, so you pull back, you have more paint, you release the trigger and the steel needle follows first and then the air disappears. So a good approach, especially on this particular one, so they have T1, which like really almost no air, no paint cup model. They have the T2, again my favorite, because you can quickly remove this little paint cups here and just have four total of those included in a case. You can buy them additional. So that's your quick color change kind of approach. As you mentioned, you have one color here, you have another one which is reducer, and you have two more other colors straight off the box. Quickly remove, put the solid in, quick clean, and put the next color in. Really convenient for fast environment work, and with being automatic action also has Infinity. Comes with not as fancy, but it's a quick release endpiece. So we do the same thing. I think it's not as popular as it should be in my opinion. Because, I just love this airbrush. Grafo by Harder and Steenbeck. Moving on from that, we have really special looking thing, special design airbrush Colani, and that's actually quite popular. We sell quite a bit of those. So what it is essentially, it's kind of it's in between your standard trigger action airbrush when you have the paint gun or pistol grip, as they call them, airbrush, or your standard airbrush when you have the precision kind of the pen holding. There's the main difference in this shape, why it's differentiated from everything else. When you have the standard trigger type airbrush, you use it like one of the spray gun, or have wider kind of range of motion. You can do the precision, of course, but for me, especially when I have background in doing some automotive painting, that's just that's the way I want to move it. And the airbrush, standard airbrush, we call it as a pen. So a little more precision, kind of from your work, you can do a little more control with it. Hold it similar to your pistol grip, but because the trigger stick on top, you have this feel of control, right, like you're holding a pen, just a bigger, more comfortable pen. So for longer sessions, bigger spray out the because from 1.2 is the biggest size on this. You can go from 1.15, like really nice precise. Nozzle 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 1.0, and 1.2 millimeter. Really nice big hole for the small airbrush. And that's the Colani series. In standard, they come with 0.4 or 0.8. 0.8 actually became the most, I think, the most popular from the Colani standards because it's like they're right in the spot where you need to be with heavier, kind of heavier spraying airbrush. And replaceable cups, so if you want bigger, 50 millimeters available. So you can have bigger or you can go small. You can put 0.2 here if you want to. Not as necessary for 1.2 millimeter opening. So the last stop here on the rear end of the table we have Hansa. It's a separate brand. It's owned by Harder and Steenbeck now. Originally started as a completely different company. Right now, and we're going to be making some changes. We don't know what yet, but the parts are actually different. So the approach is the same. You still have the self-centering nozzle. It's just looking different and designed a little differently. Same as the air caps. So not some parts are interchangeable, but not all of them. But the Hansa, we have the 181, 281, and 381 here. So the difference is the size of the nozzle and the paint cup. So you can see the 181 is the smallest. It's like for super precise details. The 281 comes in chrome. I think they all come in the chrome or black. So I have the black edition here. It's like the most sellable and best sellable airbrush from Hansa. You have the small cap and the 0.2 millimeter nozzle. It's automatic as well, so the same as Grafo we mentioned. You have to press down for air. You just start pulling back, air goes first, and you pull more, you have more paint coming in, start paint coming up and more paint. You have adjustment here for needle travel. It's not a quick fix, so just a standard kind of tune-in adjustment. And you have 381, which is interesting. I think that's the only airbrush from the Harder and Steenbeck factory now with 0.3 millimeter nozzle. So the 0.3 is, for some users, might be their go-to size, and if you want it from Harder and Steenbeck, Hansa 381 will have it. They also have the 481, 581, and 681 airbrushes, which are standard double action. So it's from Hansa as well, but they kind of down and back. I honestly, for this airbrush, I don't see much reason you rather pick up something from the standard, Harder and Steenbeck Evolution or Infinity line. But if you want to be automatic or double bending action, that's another great way to go, because Grafo are great, they don't have anything with nice big gravity cup. If you want a gravity cup and automatic action airbrush, go with Hansa. I really like them, we sell quite a bit, parts available. They also can have the quick fix endpiece on them, it's an optional. And well, yeah, they don't go anywhere, they'll be here. It's one of the oldest brands out there, Hansa. Well, I'm just going to end up with, again, general for all the Harder and Steenbeck airbrushes. This comes really nice, for sure, I'd say. Manual / problem troubleshooting, multiple languages, like Dutch, Netherlands, Italiano, English, of course, Russian. Yeah, there's quite a few languages here translated, and the pictures, I love pictures. They have a bunch of colorful pictures here. Look at that, man. It's just another one reason to get a Harder Steenbeck airbrush. Just kidding. I hope it's helpful. Shop at SprayGunner.com, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We have a great team of knowledgeable airbrush enthusiasts who can answer anything, explain you in more detail, why you should think of one airbrush over another. We never push you into any particular brands or product. We just give you details as we know them. Alright, thanks for watching, and thanks to Createx for letting us use the facility today for shooting this video. See ya!